So Brooke, you just sort of caught me in a video making mood here. I was just commenting on your still life, and I think that we had said this before in class that I really didn't think that this blood was working for you. So I'm going to just go ahead and put the blood on a layer and make that layer invisible. And so, this is something that you probably ought to know. So I'm just going to select this wall, and I'm going to isolate it. So just hit that little button there, and that isolates this wall. In here, I don't really need this back wall at all. I probably don't even need the top or the bottom or the edges. All I need is is these faces right here, and then whatever's lining the window there. So I'm going to go ahead and delete those faces. I just want to leave myself with something similar. I might go too far with this, but probably not. So this is just giving me that one face with those interior window panels. So I'll just go ahead and delete that. So this is a little simpler piece of geometry, so it's going to be a little bit easier to work with. So the next thing that I want to do is lay out some UVs on this. So I'm going to object mode. If I look at the UV editor, I'm not really seeing anything here. I'm not really sure why. Oh, there it is. So this is not, you want this to be taking up the UV space, and you want it to be lined up better. So this default is just not, it's just not going to work. So I select this object, and I'm going to go to the UV window, and I can use an automatic 3-plane layout. So I set that to 3 planes. Actually, before I do this, what I want to do is freeze the transformations on this, so that this all these numbers will realign with world space, and that's going to help the UVs lay out a little bit more accurately. So I'll go ahead and modify and then freeze the transformations, and all those numbers get reset to 0 and then 1 for the scale, so it realigns object space with world space. So now with this object selected, I'll go to the UV layout tool. I'll use my automatic, and with 3 planes here, this is really all I need to do, and I'll just go ahead and apply that. And when I look at the UV editor window, I get a more accurate representation of this. So what I want to do here is just kind of find my way around here, and I think I'd like to orient this window so that it looks like this piece of geometry. So it looks like I want to find the bottom edge of this window. I can just pick the edge, and that's going to pick it not only in my modeling window, but in my UV editor window as well. So that's the bottom edge. So I'm going to right click on this. I'll select a UV shell, and then I'm going to rotate it in the window. And I'll just rotate it 90 degrees. This is not really all that necessary, but what it does do is makes it a little bit easier to work with. So if it's oriented the right way. All right, so that works. Now these are my windowsill pieces, and my goal right here is I want to create a blood splatter that's going to sit on the windowsill here and then kind of drip down there. So what I want to do is sew these UVs together so that I have a consistent surface. So I can just select the edge, and when I select the edge, notice that it selects both edges. It selects the edge on the wall, and then the edge on the windowsill surface. So that's a shared edge. So in the UV editor, I can just go ahead and say cut and sew. And in that cut and sew window, I want to pick move and sew. And what that's going to do is select the smaller object and move it into place and sew it to the larger object. All right. So here you can see that I've got a little bit of an overlap there. So I can just right click here. I can pick the UV, which is kind of like a vertex. I just pick that little UV right there, and I'm going to just slide it in so that I don't have any overlap. All right. You can be kind of fast and loose with this because it's essentially a solid surface. So I'm going to go ahead and select this edge here, and notice that it picks a common edge with nothing. Why is it not picking a common edge here? Let's see what I can come up with here. It might be that it's split on your geometry. Let's look. Maybe it's just not displaying properly. No, that's not it. Let me just look in the geometry and see what you got here. Let's select this edge there, and yeah, so you can see it's not connected in the geometry here, so it's not going to be connected in the UV space either. Yeah, there's a couple things that you could do. You could merge these pieces. So let's take these, and I'll go ahead and merge them. Merge the vertices. So now that becomes one piece there, and if I select this edge, it's going to show me that there's a common edge with this one. And I'll do the same thing. I'm just going to go ahead and move and sew. Now if I were laying these UVs out for a production, I'd probably be a little bit more careful and a little bit more accurate. But for here, I think this is going to be just fine. I'm going to select this UV. The one thing that you want to make sure that you're avoiding is any kind of overlap here. So you don't want to be like over there. But this should be fine. And this is a nice 2D representation of this part of that wall. All right. Now you could move these around a little bit if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. I guess what I will do is select these shells, and I'm going to just nudge them up a little bit. I just want to make sure that I'm not overlapping the boundary edge there. All right, so now that I've got these UVs laid out, what I want to do is take a snapshot and bring it into Photoshop. So in order to do that, I'm going to select this object right here, and actually I think I need to select these here. Let's see, object mode. And I'm going to go ahead and merge those as well. I just have this feeling that that's going to get screwy if I don't. So, all right, so I'll select this object, and then in my image folder here, or image menu, I'm going to take a UV snapshot. I can save this as a 2K image. It's probably big enough that a 2K image is appropriate. I might even want to go 4K. The reason I'm making that decision is because you can see my grid is very, very small. So these walls are really big. So I'm going to need some big textures in order to cover that. So again, image, UV snapshot. I'm just going to stay with a 2K image, and I'm going to stay with a PNG image because it's got some built-in transparency here. And I'll just go ahead and apply and close. This is giving me my UV area is tiles, and it's going from 0 to 1 in both the U and the V. So I'll apply that, and oh, hold on. File name, I need to navigate over to the source images folder. So I'll browse there. I'm in this source images folder, and I'm going to name this bloody window UV, and I'll save that. So now it hasn't saved it yet. All it's done is transferred the name into this window. And then what I need to do is just click on apply or apply and close, and that's actually going to save the snapshot for me. So I'm going to go into Photoshop, and this is an earlier version, so I'm going to go ahead and close that, and I'm going to just open up this bloody window UV here. I'll open that up. And you can see I don't really have very much of anything except I'm going to create another layer here so that I can see what's going on. My layer 1 I want to put on the bottom, and I'm going to go ahead and fill this. And I wonder if I saved that color. I did. So I had, in my previous iteration here, I had sampled this color from your file there, and it saved it. So if you don't have that, you just bring the other image in here, and you can sample the color. So just say OK, and that's going to fill that with that dark blue. And then on my second layer, that's the UV, so I can tell where I am, in this space. So what I did then is I went on the internet and I looked for some blood splatter stuff, and I came up with a couple of them. So I'm going to go ahead and open. I'm going to take this blood dripping, open that, and I'll copy it. I'll go back into my bloody window here, and I'm going to create another layer just because I don't want to be destructive here. I'm going to put my layer 2 here, and I'll paste it. And then I'm going to just line it up. So this was already a ping image across some transparency, so I'm in pretty good shape. Let's just zoom in here, and I'm using my Maya tools here, so that's ridiculous. So I'll scale this down, and I'm just going to kind of line this up on the windowsill. And so what'll happen with it, and I can stretch it, I can do stuff like that. Let's just bring it on the whole window. You had a pretty big blood splatter here, so let's just do that. So what'll happen here, even though this is flat, you're going to see this turn the corner in the Maya file. So I'll just go ahead and save that. So I'm going to want to dress this up a little bit. So I'll just use my clone stamp tool, and it's kind of moving fast here. So I'll just clone over some of these things just to fix this. All right. All right, so I'm not going to get any further with that. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I'd probably want to you know, dress that up a little bit because I've got that white edge on there. So, but I'm not going to worry about that for now. What I am going to do is open up another one. So let's just zoom out here a little bit. And I'm going to open up one more. And I saved this one that's like a bloody handprint. I thought was kind of cool. So I'll copy that and paste it in here. And there's maybe a little bit too much white on this. But I'm going to go with it. I'm going to just put this over here next to the window and just leave it like that. So, you know, you can obviously play around with that and dress it. Let's just I just want to try one thing. Yeah, that's the white on that is kind of weird. So I'm going to just let's make these layers invisible, and I'm going to select the color range, and I'm going to select the white there, and my fuzziness, turn that up a little bit and say OK, and then I'm going to just delete it. So that helps. You know, I could go on, but I'm not gonna. So now what I want is just these. I know that they line up with the UVs, but I don't need those UVs for this texture map. So I'm just going to select this, and I'll save that. I'm going to save that as bloodyWall or bloody window, and I'll save that as a PNG. Bloody window. So I'll save that. And back to Maya. And I'm going to get rid of this UV editor. I'm thinking that you put the same shader on all your walls. So you want a different shader on this one because that's going to have that color map on it. So I can go ahead and select this and right click in here, graph the materials on the viewport selection. That gives me my wall shader. And then I'm just going to go to edit, duplicate. And I just want to duplicate the entire network here. And so this is my wall shader 1. And I'm going to just call this one bloody wall shader. Okay. So everything is the same as the other wall shaders in terms of the roughness and all that kind of stuff. But in here I want to change the base color. So I'll create a file texture. And in my file texture, I will take the out color, map that to the base color, and then come in here and select my image, which was the bloody window. And that gives me the little maps right there. And oh, I didn't assign it. So bloody wall shader. So I'll just drag that over there and assign it. Now you can see the blood is dripping there. So let's just get a closer look. And you can see the blood kind of drips, and it turns the corner on there because we mapped it on a straight line. So it may be the wrong time to do this. You probably should have done this before you I should have done it before laying out the UVs, but I don't like that really hard edge there. So I'm just going to pick this edge here, and I'm going to go to Edit Mesh, Bevel, and you know, that gives me that really round edge. But in the poly bevel, I'm going to take the fraction here and lower it down, just so that I get a little bit of a rounder edge along here. And it didn't really do anything to the UVs, so that's good. So I'll just change that to like 0.05. And that's going to just kind of round that edge for me. So, and now you can see that I've got that, that little bloody wall there. So let's unhide the rest of the stuff. Oops, wrong button. Unhide the rest of the stuff. And now you've got, you know, maybe some better blood. I don't know. I think these bubbles are a little bit too big. I think the scale of this blood is wrong for this window. But you know, just as a demonstration, you know, it kind of worked pretty well. So that's how you would do that.